Hello everyone, welcome to part 2 of this replay between PainUser and iNcontrol here on Metalopolis. Gonna go ahead and start up this game. Really just great play by iNcontrol so far, using those immortals, using stalkers, being able to push on in fairly well. Now, will the Terran player be able to really recover? Will PainUser be able to macro up a large enough economy and get back into this? Taking a look at the income tab, there is a large discrepancy, about double the income. The only thing really keeping PainUser in this game has been these mules. Also training up a lot of SCVs and now getting the Ghost Academy. This is the proper tech switch in order to get back into this game. So the Ghost Academy with that EMP Shockwave, forgetting my abilities for just a moment, will be able to deplete all the shields from these immortals, and those immortals will then be very vulnerable to the shockwave cannon and the artillery cannon of these siege tanks. Is it a Crucio shock tank? Yeah, those Crucio shock cannons, I think. Yeah, there we go. So, Marines now being macroed up, no real additional research, no stim back, no combat shields. That is a bit of a surprise, considering the amount of Marines we have. Those Marines also a very good counter towards those Immortals, just in case feedback hits those High Templars. Those Marines with a very high rate of attack speed, able to, with stim, able to deplete the Immortal shields very quickly, and then have the siege tanks try to finish them off. Back over here, missile turrets being laid down, no additional tech switches, and really now we have void rays being produced. So void rays being built as well as that tech is being hidden over here. So iNcontrol going from an immortal to a stalker tech change. However, with the sensor tower, it will be a very difficult time for iNcontrol to really catch him off guard. iNcontrol, no, we do know that sensor tower does reveal these two units over here, so most likely he realizes that there are some units and will try to push out against that tower in some time. PainUser also needs to set up an additional expansion at some point to keep up with iNcontrol's third base. The primary base is almost mined out already though, so still a lot of interesting play coming in. Immortal still being macroed up. Really, these void rays are going to be what's going to keep them off guard, because the PainUser is already ready to handle the stalkers and the immortals of iNcontrol. It's really going to depend on whether these Marines are going to be able to take down those void rays, and if enough Vikings are being produced. More factories being laid down, so we are going into a 3 factory play, 2 racks play with 1 starport, no engineering upgrade. So out comes this probe now gonna trying to do some scouting, wants to hit up over here to make sure that there is nothing. Gonna go ahead and drop down a missile turret in order to just, I guess, keep on sight. iNcontrol keeping good control of this map this whole entire time, and now laying down some extra pylons. So iNcontrol sitting at 134 over 190. PainUser sitting at 108 over 110. So really, this is still anyone's game. PainUser may be able to come back, but iNcontrol with that weapons upgrade and that zealot charge now may be able to move on out and come in from this position, and that's going to be a very difficult time. If iNcontrol can also get this pylon out, that's going to be very difficult, because reinforcements are going to be coming in mass. And why are those units trying to come in through here? That is a grave mistake, trying to reveal that over here. And now Marines coming in, and the Marines see it. Marines do in fact see that there is a pylon here, and Marines need to come over and take that one building down. Why aren't these void rays coming in? They're gonna go ahead and just run head on into this position. There's a lot of siege tanks, so iNcontrol may take a lot of damage here. Not quite sure if I agree with this whole entire attack force here. In comes that EMP shockwave, and now in comes those void rays. Void rays now continuing to fire away, able to deal a lot of damage towards those siege tanks. So really, those void rays are really the name of the game here in this whole entire push. Only 3 void rays left. Those bunkers with those Marines able to train, able to deal a lot of damage. The particle beam down to a range of 6 instead of a range of 7 in a recent patch, and iNcontrol losing a lot of his units in that fight. Really, he should have tried to come up from this side and then use that high ground advantage to push on in. That was a really devastating attack, and now PainUser is right back into this game. The harvester count 53 to 75, so really it's going to matter all about the current production between these two sides. PainUser now upgrading another orbital command, going to try to mine out of this mineral field in just a moment, as we have this observer keeping track of this location here. now, army-wise, we see iNcontrol already macroing up to a 2075 mineral army. These sentries are in fact spotted by these and by that sensor tower, and now in come these units over here. Zealots coming in. Zealots with that Zealot charge and that level 1 upgrade may be able to come in and deal a lot of damage. Gonna take down that missile turret. Siege tanks coming over as well, along with some Vikings. Zealots, and with that charge, may be able to close in that distance very, very easily. SCVs coming in, but siege tanks splashing a lot of that damage, and all those SCVs getting taken down by splash damage there. So very, very difficult. The point defense drone finally out of energy, and these units can continue to move on in. Stalkers should try to probably blink into this position. PainUser losing a lot of units here. Very, very difficult time. Ghost may be able to get an EMP shockwave off if it had enough energy, but no, not enough energy. That point defense drone recovering its energy fairly quickly as this orbital command gonna get taken down in just a matter of moments. So Stalkers may be able to blink, get underneath it, and get it within burning damage. Stalkers really need to blink underneath. Will it be able to start burning? Not quite sure. Down to 618, and no, because without the blink, it is not good. Is it burning? It is burning. Okay, so yeah, burning at 500 hit points right there. So now PainUser coming back in, gonna start mining very, very effectively with 5 additional mules. So all of those mules will increase the macro of PainUser for a little bit, but he's still only running off of 4 gas. In comes some Colossus. So Colossus without the extended thermal lance range though. So that's going to be a fairly difficult time, but still giving sight to this base. Zealots now moving on in. So a quick tech change into mass Zealots, and these Zealots are just going to be able to run in fairly easily. The Zealots taking, what, taking 3 hits instead of 4 hits from the nerfed siege tanks in the most recent patch, and PainUser still holding off fairly well iNcontrol, just trying to constantly throw a very, very large army, trying to win this war of attrition. If you're trying to use brute force against your opponent and it doesn't seem to be working, I think iNcontrol thinks, hey, just use more brute force. So still, just trying to keep up with this macro. We're going to see iNcontrol now going to be macroing up to a very, very large army in just a moment. PainUser, you can see all of the sudden loss in harvesters. I think the siege tanks have had more SCVs kills than any other unit in this game. 4th base now being taken up over here as this 3rd base is completely mined out. Robotics Bay not getting the extended thermal lance range, not quite sure why. And now we have more Zealots being warped in over here. So those Zealots offering a lot, basically a very, very fast way and cheap way of getting damage with that level 2 weapons upgrade. So dealing 20 damage per swipe against an unarmored building. Orbital Command now running into a bunch of Stalkers' particle beam, or it was particle disruptors, and then getting taken down. Siege tanks now moving out from PainUser. PainUser trying to take a 3rd base, and trying to take an additional base, but I think it's just going to be a matter of sieging, yeah, I guess the Protoss player can't really siege a Terran player, but just trapping him and making it very difficult for him to get any additional resources. He's going to mine out his natural expansion in just a moment, and at some point he's going to need to lift off this orbital command center and move it over here and try to take that 3rd base. Siege tanks now moving out. Siege tanks going to go ahead and take down this pylon over here. Need to siege on up and come on in. We already have a scanner sweep and revealing some of the space over here. Siege tanks now in position. Nice EMP shockwave, and force field's coming in, but force field's not really hitting anything there. Zealot now running on in as well. The void waves are now fully charged and able to push on in those void waves with that additional movement speed, and was able to take this game. So great game between PainUser and iNcontrol here on Metalopolis. I just realized that this was not here. Wow. So hey, let me just well, yeah, I just realized that this, I wasn't even covering that banner, so I don't know how that happened. Anyways, thanks for watching, thanks for listening, and I hope you guys enjoyed this game between PainUser and iNcontrol here on Metalopolis. Really, iNcontrol using a lot of brute force, taking use of his economic advantage, and really being able to push on against PainUser. So PainUser did a great job trying to hold off. Siege tanks held off the fight for quite a while, but still not enough. Thanks for watching, thanks for listening. I hope you guys enjoyed this replay brought to you by lucomputers.com.